The Sacred Rebellion: Why Rest is Your Divine Right. Welcome to a conversation that might just change your life, perhaps even save it. I recently had the privilege of interviewing Sadie Garcia, a revolutionary voice who's transforming how Black women approach rest, boundaries, and spiritual wholeness. Sadie isn't just talking about these principles, she's living them. She's walking through the world as a powerful testament to what happens when we stop glorifying exhaustion and start honoring divine intention. Her work has created ripples of transformation across communities where burnout was once considered a badge of honor. Through her coaching, speaking, and advocacy, she's giving thousands of women permission to put down the cape and pick up their peace. Have you ever noticed how we've elevated exhaustion to an art form in our culture? We wear our busyness like Olympic medals. "I'm so tired" has become our collective anthem, our twisted lullaby. But what if I told you that your exhaustion isn't just a scheduling problem? It's a spiritual crisis? That's right. The constant grind, the perpetual yes saying, the chronic overextension. It's not just draining your energy, it's diminishing your divinity. It's not just making you tired, it's making you forget who you are. When Sadie Garcia talks about putting God first by honoring yourself as his creation, she's not speaking in abstract theological terms. She's talking about a radical reframing of how we see ourselves in relation to our creator. Think about it. If you believe you were created in God's image, fearfully and wonderfully made, then treating yourself like a disposable machine that never needs maintenance isn't just unwise, it's sacrilegious. I know that's a strong word, but stay with me. When we push ourselves beyond our limits, ignore our body signals, and sacrifice our well being on the altar of productivity, we're essentially saying, "This vessel that God crafted with intention and purpose is disposable. This life force that was breathed into me by the divine, it's expendable." And that, my friends, is a lie we've been sold, a lie that's killing us softly. Let me tell you about something remarkable happening in Canada. A platform called Begin was created specifically for Black entrepreneurs facing unique pressures from both systemic racism and business demands. The founders noticed something alarming. Black business owners were burning out at unprecedented rates with few culturally relevant resources to turn to. These entrepreneurs weren't just tired, they were spiritually and emotionally depleted. Many reported feeling like they had to work twice as hard just to be seen as half as good. The weight of representation, of being the first or the only in their spaces, created a pressure that transcended normal business stress. Begin stepped in with free resources focused on mental health support and professional self care practices tailored specifically for Black professionals. But they did something even more revolutionary. They framed rest as resistance. They positioned self care not as a luxury, but as a necessary act of leadership. The results? Participants reported not just improved work life balance, but a profound shift in how they viewed their worth. One entrepreneur said, "For the first time, I understood that my value wasn't tied to my output. I was worthy of rest simply because I exist." Another shared, "I realized I wasn't honoring God by running myself into the ground. I was actually dishonoring His creation, me." This isn't just a nice story. It's evidence that when we honor ourselves, when we recognize our inherent worth, we become more effective, not less. We become more creative, not less. We become more impactful, not less. But I know what some of you are thinking. That sounds nice, but I don't have time for self care. I have responsibilities. People depend on me. Bills need to be paid. Children need to be fed. Communities need to be served. I hear you. And so does Sadie Garcia. That's why her second key message resonates so deeply. Professional self care is not optional, it's essential. We've been conditioned to believe that rest is a reward, something we earn after we've checked everything off our to do lists. But here's the truth, those lists will never be complete. There will always be one more email to answer, one more person to help, one more project to finish, one more crisis to manage. If we wait until everything is done to rest, we will never rest. And a body, mind, and spirit that never rests will eventually break down, not might, will. Let's look at what's happening among Black women entrepreneurs specifically. Her agenda profile, practical ways these women reclaim rest without taking extended vacations, a critical act given their disproportionate exposure to overwork culture. These women faced overwhelming workloads with little time off due to both cultural expectations and business demands. Many expressed feeling trapped between the strong Black woman stereotype and the entrepreneurial hustle culture, a double bind that left little room for vulnerability or rest. Their solution? They got creative. They adopted summer Fridays where they ended work early regardless of what was left undone. They scheduled mini breaks during workdays, longer lunches, beauty appointments, walks in nature. They planned short getaways with loved ones, even when they couldn't afford full sabbaticals. One woman shared, I started taking Wednesday afternoons off to read novels in the park. My team thought I was crazy at first. 6 months later, our productivity is up 30%, and three of my employees have adopted similar practices. The outcomes were striking. 66% found productivity boosted, and 77% saw improved work life balance after implementing these strategies. This movement was inspired by advocates like Tricia Hersey, who declared, rest is not a reward, it's a right, urging unapologetic rest for healing generational trauma. Not only did individual women report better mental health outcomes, they also modeled new norms around boundary setting in their networks. This approach has sparked wider acceptance that intentional rest is revolutionary and necessary for sustainable success among Black women leaders nationwide. This isn't just nice to have advice. This is survival, but it's more than survival, it's about thriving. It's about recognizing that your capacity to give, to create, to lead, it all flows from a well that must be regularly replenished. And that brings us to Sadie's third powerful message. You have the right to protect your peace in every area of life. Let that sink in for a moment. You have the right to protect your peace, not just at work, not just on weekends, in every area of life, work, family, friendships, romantic relationships. And here's the part that might feel uncomfortable. Not everyone deserves direct access to you. I know that statement might make you squirm a little. We've been taught that accessibility equals love, that availability equals value, that saying yes equals worthiness. But what if those equations are fundamentally flawed? A survey by Founder Reports examined hundreds of entrepreneurs with significant representation from underrepresented groups about mental health struggles tied directly to overwork culture. The findings were sobering. 87.7% struggled with at least one mental health issue, anxiety being most common, while many felt pressure never to pause or set boundaries at work or home. Behind these statistics are real people like Maya, a tech founder who suffered a panic attack during an investor meeting after working 90-hour weeks for months. Or James, who missed his daughter's graduation because he was afraid to delegate tasks to his team. Or Sophia, who developed chronic insomnia trying to be available to clients across multiple time zones. The entrepreneurs who thrived found solutions through light workouts, 64%, regular relaxation breaks, 56%, reading, 48%, prayer, 27%, meditation or breathing exercises, about 38%. And crucially, they emphasize setting clear boundaries between personal and professional lives. Those who implemented consistent boundary setting saw reduced stress levels and greater overall satisfaction, as well as increased creativity at work. Many had previously experienced burnout before realizing that protecting their peace was non negotiable for long term success. These survey participants collectively shifted workplace cultures by modeling vulnerability about needs and advocating openly for others' right to do the same. These practices continue shaping how entrepreneurship spaces view strength, not just enduring hardship, but knowing when care must come first. This isn't just data, these are real lives transformed by the simple yet profound act of saying, "My peace matters." When Sadie Garcia talks about protecting your peace, she's not suggesting you become selfish or unavailable to those who truly need you. She's inviting you to be intentional about where your energy goes. Because here's the truth, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And for too many of us, especially Black women who've been conditioned to be the backbone of families, communities, and workplaces, our cups aren't just empty, they're cracked from overuse. So, what does this look like in practice? It might mean scheduling intentional moments of, of rest this week. It might mean blocking out time on your calendar just for yourself. It might mean saying no to something good to make space for something essential, your well being. And yes, it might feel uncomfortable at first. We're not used to putting ourselves first. We've been taught that self sacrifice is the highest virtue. But what if true virtue lies in stewardship, in caring for the precious resource that is you? What if honoring your limits isn't selfish but sacred? What if saying no to others sometimes means saying yes to God's intention for your life? I want to leave you with this. Your rest is not just a personal health choice, it's a revolutionary act. In a world that profits from your exhaustion, choosing to honor your limits is an act of rebellion. In a society that measures your worth by your productivity, declaring "I am enough" is radical. In communities that expect you to carry everyone else's burdens, setting boundaries is disruptive in the most necessary way. I challenge you today to join this sacred rebellion, to declare your divine right to rest, to recognize that your softness is not weakness, it's wisdom. Your boundaries are not barriers, they're bridges to a more sustainable life. Your peace is not a luxury, it's your legacy. Start small. Block off 1 hour this week just for yourself. Say no to one request that doesn't serve your highest good. Turn off notifications for one evening and be fully present with yourself or your loved ones. These small acts of self honor will ripple outward, transforming not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Because when you model what it looks like to value yourself, you give others permission to do the same. This is your permission slip. This is your divine right. This is your sacred rebellion. The world doesn't need more martyrs. It needs more whole, rested, boundaries honoring humans who know their worth is not earned, it's inherent. Will you join the rebellion?